Perfect. It's beautiful. It's sponsored by Arizona Green Tea.
Buy my merch. Now.
That was the weakest, most hiding your scream Chris Chan impression I've ever heard.
Buy my merch. Now.
Steven, you do it.
Buy my merch.
No. See, that's a man who knows how to scream. He'll get you a noise complaint so hard.
These are not quiet time hours yet, it's fine.
It's true. You can be as loud and Chris Chan as you want. Do you think Chris Chan has to respect all quiet time?
I was just about to ask that.
I don't think he ever does or ever will. I'm not sure he knows what the concept is.
No one can withstand his quiet time.
What does that mean?
His quiet time is when everybody else has to be quiet so he can record.
Oh, God.
He makes his parents shut up, and he's like, don't. He gets really mad if they utter so much as a single syllable as he's recording his PlayStation videos.
He could make a call-out video about them, and then they'd be in trouble.
Bob and Barbara, you have been foiling against me for the last time. I'm gonna do something I should have done a long time ago.
Of course, all the while his PS3 controller in hand.
And then he pulls out his Guitar Hero controller and starts singing a cool parody.
Then he says, my Guitar Hero controller is only $99. Please buy it.
We don't need no education.
It comes free with my customizations.
Whoa.
This is a Christian Weston Chandler exclusive. You can't get this anywhere else.
I hate that smirched in white paint with fucking Sharpie on the back and shit.
He drew it to make it look like Meatwad's guitar. Who doesn't love Meatwad?
Disclaimer! Crossing the Line is not a show intended to bully or harass anyone. Do not go out of your way to find or mess with the authors featured on our podcast. They make what we do possible, and we love them. And you. Thanks. Enjoy.
Panty Stocking, Panty Stocking, oh, Panty Stocking, oh, Panty Stocking. Oh, tell me, baby, feel right. Panty Stocking.
Well, anyways, today's episode is Panty and Stocking with Garterbelt.
Chris Chan's favorite cartoon.
I watched this again today, and I was surprised at how Western and Invader Zim and those early 2000s cartoons inspired it was for being a product that was made in the East.
Very, for a 2010 cartoon, it's very early 2000s, 90s.
And Western for an Eastern creation. It was just bizarre. There was a lot of production value, but the animation style was very reminiscent of Western animation, which is not high production value typically. It was that kind of concept of a cartoon done really well.
And I watched it for the very first time a few weeks ago and thought it was very good.
Really?
Yeah, I had never seen it before.
I'd watched one episode a long time ago. But I watched it again.
I had read the manga a year ago because I found it in a bookstore and said, that's pretty cool. I haven't seen the show, but this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a manga. Was it based off the anime? What?
It came after the anime.
Yeah, typical with most Gainax Trigger works. The anime comes first, and then the manga is usually an offshoot, and a rather kind of story or something.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I watched it late sophomore, early junior year, or something like that. I remember I watched it after I watched Kill la Kill.
Whoa. What's your favorite episode of Kill la Kill?
I really love the episode where they have to not be late for class or whatever. The obstacle course, the tardiness obstacle course. Just because I love all the gags in there. They're the students who give up on themselves, give up on being early to class, just form a cult where they believe they were never in school at all or whatever.
Elias, what's your favorite episode of Kill la Kill?
I like the first one. It's one of the few that I've seen.
That's the one that I saw.
I like the gag where they're running through the building of the school. Maybe it's the second episode. I don't know. But she's running through like a staircase and you can see the outside. It's just a very dynamic shot. It's really good. I sort of skimmed it like a long time ago, so I don't remember a ton of it. But I do remember some of the shots because they were really cool.
It was a cool show.
That's not what we're here to talk about.
Alright, Elias, sing the Panty and Stocking intro now.
Well, I just...
Panty, Stocking, Panty, Stocking.
Is there an intro?
Yeah.
I watched it on YouTube, so I didn't get the intros. I got it in
Forget what Steven just said and try to think of what the theme song would be.
Okay. Gosh, I mean, on the one hand, it's an anime, but it's not really like typical.
To be fair, it's one of those shows that has a very big soundtrack, so it's easy to get lost.
I would guess it's like 10 seconds, and it's just like an intro scene where all the characters pile on screen, and then it cuts to the title card.
That's not too far off, actually.
Yeah.
It goes, ha, 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 and then they all jump on the screen. It says, Panty and Stocking, and that's it. And then Garterbelt pokes in and says, with Garterbelt.
Then Chris Sabat comes in and does voiceover blackface.
Does he really play Garterbelt?
Yeah.
That's messed up.
It's so funny.
I was watching it at like 1.25 speed on YouTube with the box bouncing around. It was a dub. It was bad.
Is my Funimation account not logged on your PS4 anymore?
Nope.
Bummer.
It worked. I got the gist.
Okay. Anyway, we are reading crossover fan fictions as we tend to do, and I'm not going to read first because I did that last time, so somebody else go.
I can go first.
Fine.
I'll do it.
Okay.
I like to go first because I'm very... I've read the first few sentences and I lack confidence in this now. Let's see here. Peter packed his bags into the taxi and looked at his family and friends. Okay, family and friends.
Oh, it's that, Peter.
I must now say goodbye to you and say hello to teaching students the American teaching, because we all know the West counties have only a few years if we get another Bush, so I do not know when I'll be back. Maybe in 10 years I will return.
Just to be safe, 2 years beyond his max-able term.
God.
I will return as a gray-haired man that wishes to found what he lost the day he left his family. A good time to say goodbye. Goodbye, man that eats all of my Kit Kats. I will not miss you. Goodbye, Peter. Gigi. Bye, Pete. Bye, Dad. Bye, Pete. Goodbye, Peter. Dad, I wanted to say that Meg didn't finish because the taxi drove off and the fact that no one cares. Dayton City High School, overseas class.
Overseas class?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
They learn the overseas language,
He's gonna be gone for
which
10
is
years.
English.
The universal language.
Brief thought. I wonder what the teacher will be like. Panty thought, what the fuck?
Why are they in school?
That's funny.
Stocking thought, Scanty thought, I like TV. Knee socks thought, what's going to happen here?
I'm glad everybody's thinking.
Peter Griffin walked into the room.
Just imagining his fox ass animation clashing in with this super smooth, like frame-by-frame animated cartoon.
I imagine him walking into the classroom and his outline getting like 7 pixels thicker.
It's like a portal into the room.
He still looks the same, he just has a big black outline.
Yeah.
Can't mess up a character design like that.
He like makes pain noises as all of his parallel lines become curved.
He goes,
Peter Griffin walked into the room with a brown suit, white shirt, tie, and gray pants. I hate that.
Brown shirt, white
Gray pants.
God.
He wrote his name on the board. Class, I am Miss etc. Peter Griffin, and I'm going to teach you how I teach in America, because most liking half of the people in this room, we own it. Well, I'll check the roll call list.
This is written like a madman.
Peter looked annoyed and looked at the number of kids that were to be here and put it down. You know, it doesn't matter. I trust you all, and I don't need to call roll.
that's not how a roll works.
I trust you all. I trust that you're all here.
1 on trust, and 2nd on the fact there's pictures by the names now. Peter began to take off his clothes from jacket to underwear. Because you had to take this class and I have to teach, he took out a scooter and rode around his new students. This is what my class is all about. Learn with me, children. Let's teach each other. Brief's mouth opened in shock and spoke. The answer is 42. Peter smiled and rode to Brief's desk. Person named after underwear, Brief. Hey, everyone else, you're held back another year.
What is happening?
It's that skit where he like pretends he'd be a teacher and he's just nude riding around the class.
So they just stole it from an episode of Family Guy?
Yes, it was funny.
Yeah.
And then he gave Brief an A and everybody else got held back.
On the first day of school.
Hope you liked the short story. I might make more if you want. Please give some Chapter 2.
Steven, I'm pissed off at you.
There's a second chapter.
Oh.
I'd be pissed
I'm
too.
less pissed.
Okay.
Moderately.
Peter, in quotes, walked into the classroom.
As if
The students are skeptical.
Is that the same guy that was here yesterday?
Peter walked into the classroom but was in a white shirt and blue pants. Hello,
So
children.
he's just in a white shirt and jeans now?
Yeah. Hello, children. It is me, your teacher, and not a mad clone planning to rule the world, yeah?
Oh no.
Peter broke the door down in a ruined one-piece fan shirt, panting. Children, don't listen to him. He is an evil clone. Clone Peter stopped him for a minute. Mad. I said mad clone. Peter said sorry and went on. Okay, a mad clone trying to take over the world by schooling young people. Peter jumped in the air in a slow-mo. Battle time. Clone Peter took out a giant sword, which no one knows where it came from, and attacked him. One epic battle later, a riot breaks out, making all students in the classroom go haywire. The angels and demons pull out their weapons and start randomly shooting and or cutting students. Then the clone starts attacking them, making them furious to where they start attacking the clone. The clone then overpowers them by knocking them all out.
Oh, the students.
I don't want to know how he does that.
He beat both the angels and the devil, the demons.
His clone of Peter Griffin.
He's
With a
strong.
sword.
Scanty's gun fell on the floor and slid to breathe. He quickly picked it up. Which one do I shoot? I don't know. Brief shoots with his eyes closed, hitting Panty in the shoulder. Fuck you! She shouts, grasping her arm. Oops, he replied, chuckling. Oh my god.
Oops.
He chucked the gun at the clone, then ran away full speed. Peter then picks up a random kid and throws it at the clone as a distraction, then stabs it.
The clone Peter cried as he spoke his last words with just one working eye looking at the classroom. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe, and from the right eye only babies floating on top of trucks while a dog humps a dumb blonde woman. Evil giant human chicken fighting to death through space and time. Joe dressing up as a woman and making love to Quagmires are prank. All those moments lost in time like Chris getting blue balls from too much hentai. Now time to die. The robot clone exploded into many, many pieces.
As if the students know who those are.
It was a robot?
I guess so. Peter giggles and holds up his one-piece shirt. Well, I guess he isn't in one piece.
He's a one-piece shirt.
Peter walked to his desk and sat down. So now, can I get a hand up on what just happened here? Peter sits in his chair and drinks a cola with a smile. Okay, can anyone tell me what happened? Hun? You 5 in the front row, what are your answers? Please tell or you'll be held back a year. With me! Da da da! Go ahead. Brief says, I don't know anymore, and starts rocking back and forth in his seat. Nisock says, I have no fucking clue. Scanty says, I have to have my classes switched. Panty says, no fucking way I'm staying back a year, then storms out of class. Stocking looks up and finishes eating a cupcake she stole from Brief. Peter grins and takes his pants off and grabs his wheels. Good, now today's lesson can begin. Also, thanks to the Angel Nisocks for helping me to write this. Yeah, she's nice. Good night, everybody. And that's the end.
Yay! You think Peter's shirt was a one-piece shirt, or just like a shirt that was one piece?
You know what it was.
What?
I rate
Giving
that.
you the critic stare.
The critics there.
I rate that Peter Griffin in quotes.
2 quotation marks.
I rate that 2 Peter Griffins out of 10.
I give that one broken family over one man leaving across seas to teach.
That was
Says-
beautiful.
He says, who knows how long the Bush administration will last. I'm going to go for 10 years just to be safe.
When was this written?
Let's see here. Published. Oh god, yeah. Okay, this makes sense. June 2012. Jesus Christ, that was like 2 years after it came out.
So during the Obama years. Oh!
Okay, thank God. Just got on the remote.
Thank God. It could have been infinitely worse if it didn't get on the electronic.
Exactly.
Okay. I want to read now.
Okay.
The bell rung in the church tower that was the home of Panty, Stocking, Garterbelt, and Chuck. Panty took notice of this and said, Chuck, look like it's about that time of week again. Bath time. Chuck's eyes enlarged as if to say, uh-oh. Come on, said Panty. Let's go get the water started. She walked away, expecting...
It's just the SpongeBob
It
episode.
is. I remember this. Oh my god.
She walked away, expecting Chuck to follow her, but he in turn just crossed his arms and frowned. Panty took notice of Chuck's behavior and said, You're gonna have to get in that tub, Chuck. Now, Chuck. We can do this the easy way or the hard way, or the medium or the semi-hard with a touch of challenging way. Chuck didn't answer. So that's how you want to play it, huh? Panty said. Panty knew it was going to take some effort getting Chuck into the tub, so she decided to try and entice him into hopping in. She played fetch with him, and Chuck ran after the ball, yelling, Chuck, 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 Chuck. The ball then turned around and came hurtling back to Panty like a boomerang. Huh? Panty looked at the box and read, New boomerang pet ball. Really works. She groaned and threw the box away, only to be hit by it as the cane boomerang back to hit her. As it came boomeranging back to hit her. Panty had what she had thought was a genius idea next. She strapped a bomb to her stomach and began to panic. Chuck, there's a bomb strapped to my chest. It's gonna explode in 3 seconds unless you take a bath. Chuck sighed and didn't obey. Please, Panty begged before the bomb exploded, and she was left an ash-covered mess. Panty began circling her hands around like wax on, wax off in The Karate Kid, trademark 1985. I am now going to assault your mind with subliminal messages. Chuck saw images of a tub, a running shower, a rubber ducky, a bar of soap, and finally, a silly image of judgment. Somehow, Panty saw that too and was shocked. Sorry you had to see that. Panty pulled out her cell phone and called the nearest restaurant. Hello, Fancy Fred's restaurant? I got a naughty rat dog here that won't take a bath. The person on the other end was speaking too fast for her to make out what he was saying. Panty said, Huh? Could you say that again? Slow down. It's like you're speaking some other language. And angrily hung up. Chuck walked away thinking, I am so done with this crap.
That's a lot more offensive when it's not a sea creature.
Panty suggested, Hey Chuck, how about some leapfrog? She leaped over Chuck with ecstasy and said, Okay, now your turn. As soon as Chuck was on the back of her legs, Panty arched her back forward, hoping to send Chuck flying off into the bathroom, thereby trapping him inside. Instead, he splat against the wall. After taking some time to heal, Panty suggested another round of leapfrog, but Chuck, knowing what would happen, whacked her in the head with a cane. Now Panty realized the only way to lure Chuck into the tub was by bribing him. She pulled out $1 and said, I've got a crisp $1 bill for the next person to take a bath in this house. Suddenly, Stocking, who was already taking a bath, drove the tub over and snatched the $1 bill with a greedy look on her face. Finally, Panty tried dancing in order to get Chuck into the bathroom, but that also wasn't working. The more methods she tried, the more and more confused he got. That didn't work either, huh? Said Panty. Panty then thought up a genius idea she was surprised she didn't think of beforehand. She slapped on a pirate hat and eye patch and pulled out a fake treasure map she drew herself. Chuck, I found a treasure map. There's treasure in this house, she said in a mock excitement. She and Chuck walked around the church until they came across a door to the bathroom, where Panty had painted a big red X on. The treasure must be in here, she quipped. She opened the door and cheered. Wow, Chuck, look! A pirate's treasure chest! Chuck wasn't stupid. He could tell the treasure chest is really just the bathtub painted to look like one. Chuck, he said. What?
I just remembered the climax of this episode, and I'm really
same.
upset thinking how they're gonna go about it.
Me too, man.
Chuck, he said, pointing to it as if to say, Are you stupid? Why, no, Chuck, this isn't the bathtub, said Panty. It's treasure. She whipped out 2 bars of soap and said, Look, doubloons. Don't drop 'em, and winked. Finally, she pulled out a rubber duck and said, Look at this brooch. Chuck quipped as if to say, What are you talking about?
Hearing this through just different characters, this is making me realize what asinine stunt this is to pull. She went through the trouble of painting the entire bathtub to look like a chest.
They made a don't drop the soap joke.
Yeah.
The balloons, don't drop them.
Now Panty had it up to here. She stripped off her pirate hat and eye patch, yelling, I don't know what a zipper would want with a brooch. Now why don't you just get in the tub? With that last sentence, she grabbed Chuck and tried to plop him into the water, but he skidded away from it just as she let go of him. He didn't even touch the water. This happened over and over again until finally Panty began growling. Now, Chuck, are you going to get in the tub? She began strangling him. Or am I going to have to... Before she could complete her sentence, Chuck did a high jump. Panty, still holding on to him, crashed through the ceiling and grabbed onto the chandelier on the ceiling of the floor above them. Panty was in hot water now, no pun intended. She looked down through the hole Chuck had made, staring at how far down the tub was. Chuck, could you... That's all Panty could say before Chuck wiggled her off with him. Chuck, no, Chuck! Panty fell down into the tub. Thankfully, she was not hurt. Now Panty had really had it. She called up to Chuck from below. All right, Chuck, you have duped and or frustrated me for the last time. So if I can't bring you to the bath, I'll just have to bring the bath to you. The blonde lowered her head underwater and sucked in all the water.
No! I didn't want them to do that!
Oh no!
practically swallowing it all. The tub was empty, and she was now as fat as Stocking when she tried to go dieting. Chuck, thinking he was done putting up with the blonde shenanigans, was now relaxing on the couch reading a book. Chuck, he heard a voice say. Panty was totally round.
No, you have to have water in the back of your throat for the effect.
Okay.
Fuck.
I can't talk at the same time.
No,
I'll have to fake it. How sad.
fake it till you make it.
Chuck! You heard a voice say.
Just gargle on whatever's inside the throat.
Panty was totally round and just huge. She busted through the door and said, "Bath delivery!" before spitting out water at Chuck like Godzilla, breathing fire, scaring the poor rat dog away from the couch. "Chuck!" he yelled as he dashed away before the water could catch him. Panty continually chased Chuck around the house, trying to get him wet. But then Chuck made it harder for her when he escaped the house. Still whining, "Chuck, what are you waiting for, Chuck?" Panty yelled as she busted outside. Suddenly, she heard what sounded like Chuck screaming his name for help, and saw what appeared to be a silhouette of him up in a nearby tree. Panty pulled a ladder out from hammer space. "Ah, stuck in a tree," she said mockingly. "It's time to clean up your act, Chuck." She spat out the last of her water slowly and was reversed to her original form. No longer fat, she could then hear Chuck's whine sounding more and more deadpan. Then the silhouette she saw collapsed and its eyes fell off. Panty was upset now. "Oh no," she ran over in disbelief and regret. "I bathed Chuck too hard and removed his skin." Just then, she heard what sounded like Chuck from below the tree saying his name in a sing-song voice. "Chuck, Chuck, Chuck, Chuck." The Chuck Panty thought she had killed was just a decoy, and the real Chuck was at the bottom of the tree holding the ladder. "Chuck, you put that ladder back down this instant," Panty snapped. Chuck, now grinning with an evil smirk on his face, dropped the ladder, letting it fall to the ground. "Chuck, you were going to take a bath and you were going to get clean right now," Panty scolded. "Chuck," Chuck retorted, "I am so the boss of you." "Chuck, it may be a free city, but you live in our church under our rules." "Chuck, don't you just take that tone of voice with me." Suddenly, Chuck tiptoed towards the puddle of mud that was sitting underneath the tree with a mischievous grin on his face. "What are you doing?" Panty scolded. "I am talking to you, mister. Do not go near that mud puddle. Chuck the rat dog hybrid, do you hear me? I am giving you 3 seconds. As Panty counted, Chuck only crept closer and closer, bending his arm over towards the puddle, ready to soak himself with it. "Don't make me say 3, said Panty. "Chuck! No, Chuck!" She fell out of the tree into the mud puddle. "I'm a dirty girl." Now Panty was the only one having to take a bath instead of Chuck. She sat in the tub with a pouty look on her face. Chuck was sitting on the edge of the tub watching in both pleasure and victory. He was happy that he finally got his way and didn't have to bathe, but was also happy to see Panty naked. "Chuck!" he said, pointing at Panty. Yeah, Chuck, I'm getting behind my ears." Panty huffed as she took the soap bar and scrubbed herself some more. Chuck gave an evil grin. The end.
Sad thing is, I could definitely see that as like an actual episode they would do. That's like right up their alley.
Even with the inflation fetishist?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. They did it
There
with
was an
Stocking.
entire episode about inflation fetishes.
Oh, really?
Wow, I'm glad I didn't watch that. But I read it.
Now you know. I rate that story a dirty girl out of 10.
I rate that very thirsty Panty. Getting her fill. Ducking her head underwater and then just inhaling it.
I rate that one slap over the head with a cane from Chuck.
I rate that a natural found ability of doing a water voice with your throat.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
With no water in my throat.
Well, we've only been going for a half an hour.
We're making incredible time.
We're going for the speedrun world record of podcasting. I already got mine pulled up. I was deciding between one or two. This one's pretty long, so I'm probably only gonna read a few chapters. But since we're doing really good on time, I didn't want to read the other one. That was really short.
Okay.
My name is Sonic the Hedgehog, and to be honest, I can't really tell whether or not I'm in heaven or hell.
Okay.
Now you may ask me, why would I think such a thing? Well, it's a pretty awkward transition. Currently, I live in Buffalo, New York.
Alright. Is that a statement on the place Buffalo, New York?
Is it heaven or hell? Who knows?
What's wrong with Buffalo?
Let's take a trip to Buffalo, New York. We'll make a cool vlog.
Yeah, you better save that audio because I'm gonna forget about Buffalo, New York as a place in 1 second.
I'm gonna keep sending you a clip of Buffalo, New York every day.
I'm gonna say, dang, suddenly I really want to go to Buffalo, New York.
Gotta rig it to the like button in the friggin' Facebook Messenger so every time we press that, it plays it.
Your new notification tone is Buffalo, New York. Heaven or hell. I live with close roommates of mine as well. However, the fact that I live with them is mind-boggling. One of them is named Joy, who I can vouch for the fact that she is the most positive woman I have ever met. Sure, she can be a bit too happy for her own good, but in the long run, she knows what she is doing, especially acting as mayor of Buffalo. I'm proud to call her my friend, to say the least.
Roommates with the mayor of Buffalo?
The other roommate, in all honesty, I frequently question why I'm friends with him in the first place, let alone why I'm his roommate. Daffy Duck is by far the most ridiculous person that I've ever met.
Why is Daffy Duck roommates with the mayor of Buffalo?
He's obnoxious, arrogant, aloof, and really freaking lazy. Worst of all, he will do anything in his power to get what he wants, even as far as breaking every bone in his body. Believe me, I've witnessed that before. It was not pretty.
It's horrible.
Every single bone.
Anyways, I live in Buffalo, New York during the weekend days. In the weekends, however, Daffy and I travel to Santa Monica, California every weekend.
So far away!
Every weekend?
It's like 3 or 4 hour time zone difference.
Where do they get their income?
Sonic's fast!
Fair enough.
Every weekend. To relax and take a load off. Joy usually
Just live somewhere better!
Just move
Then
there.
You can afford to!
Then you wouldn't be roommates with the mayor of Buffalo. Trust me, this is working out for him.
The mayor of Buffalo must have some dirt on them or something.
I don't like that Daffy goes with him, despite how much he hates him. Joy usually doesn't join us because she has a city to run and is very busy. No worries, however. Luckily, I'm friends with a certain pair of sisters who room with us in a Santa Monica summer home near the Santa Monica Pier that we all share rent on every weekend. Their names are Panty and Stocking Anarchy, and they are 2 angels who fell from heaven due to their sins and are currently trying to obtain enough of these heaven coins to be able to go back to heaven. At least that was their previous plan. Now that they've decided to take a break from all of that and enjoy their sweet time here on planet Earth, California specifically, well, they live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania during the weekend.
Why? Why
This kid doesn't understand the concept of living in a home.
What's the significance of these specific?
So they live.
I'm about to tell you.
They live there on the weekdays, but Sonic and Daffy go on the weekends.
Also, do you think Sonic just like asks them about their life story and shit?
And they surprisingly are general managers at their own
At their own
what?
at their own Foot Locker there. Yeah. Yes, I'm a general manager at the Foot Locker in Buffalo.
Why? Everyone's
I'm a general manager at the Foot Locker in Buffalo too.
Like
Pretty
Sonic
cliche of me, right? Right.
In what way is that cliche of you?
like Sonic makes kinda sense, but even
They're general managers of different Foot Lockers, and they share a weekend summer house in California.
This kid must think Foot Locker managers make a lot of money.
Oh, this is a joy. Oh my god.
I mean, Sonic probably goes through a lot of shoes. But otherwise...
He gets paid in shoes.
The best ones are these are the ones where the guy's just free balling it. I love it.
Oh my god. You'd probably expect to be excited about my job since it involves footwear. Think about it. I can run faster than the speed of sound. Too fast for the naked eye to see. I would like to run around in place yelling, "Yeah, Foot Locker!" every day I work there. But I don't. It's not all that cracked up to be, I promise you. Although I can't imagine myself being excited for any retail job, to be honest. Can you imagine me saying stuff like, "Yeah, McDonald's," or "Yeah, Starbucks," or "Yeah, Bed Bath & Beyond," while running in place like a dingus? Well, my fandom overall has taken a rather odd turn over the years, so to most of my fans I would not be surprised. But to sum it all up, a lot of misadventures happen when a cartoon duck with issues, two angel sisters with issues, and a blue hedgehog with issues room together in the wonderful land of Santa Monica, California. Many of these misadventures, of which I am not proud of at all, are messed up. Some are very messed up. Others are just plain stupid. There are a rare few that are just plain embarrassing. But regardless of all that, I like my weekends at Santa Monica. It's less weird than at Buffalo, that's for sure. Go figure. When you know how messed up these stories actually are, you might feel sorry for me. Or you might make a fanfiction about it with your favorite hedgehog OC. Let's see what comes first. That was one chapter.
Good lord.
I wonder if any of those things are going to be relevant. Like where they're from or where they work.
I sure hope we get a
course.
Foot Locker chapter.
Just one really slow shift at Foot Locker.
Or Sonic's tapping his foot, waiting for a customer.
Dr. Eggman. Dr. Eggman comes in with a size fucking 48s.
Dr. Eggman comes in and knocks his shelf over and goes, "Oops!"
Do you have any size 38 shoes?
Dr. Eggman pockets a bunch of shoehorns and leaves.
He goes, "Get a load of this," as he breaks the shoehorn with his toes.
Are these free to use? Yes, thank you. And picks them all up and leaves.
He builds a robot out of them and he comes back tomorrow with a robot to try to kill Sonic.
E700 the shoehorn.
He tries to put in Sonic's feet in shoehorns and then screws them in too tight so he can't take them off.
I've devised a robot that will never allow you to wear normal shoes again.
"Hello, Sonic. I'm coming in to get my shoes repaired. They're stitched into my pants, but I want some sick kicks, you see."
I like that he just doesn't know what shoe bar is. He goes, "They're stitched into my pants."
So I won't be taking them off.
But you're gonna put some puppies that fit on these puppies.
So I have to take my pants off.
Just in the store holding his pants. Sonic wearing a checkerboard shirt.
It's your job! Make me complain to the higher-ups.
Is this
Eggman
Foot Locker
abuse-
corporate?
Eggman abusing the corporate fucking ladder to give Sonic trouble.
Well, Sonic is the general manager.
Oh my god.
What he says goes. Okay, the next chapter is from a general point of view, so I don't have to read Sonic's voice the whole time. Once upon a time, in the magical land of Santa Monica, California, an anthropomorphic cartoon dolt of a duck is currently having a fight with an immortal cartoon fallen angel with a ravenous sweet tooth. Within the catacombs of the Mogul, site of Sweets and Coffee, Dunkin' Donuts, Heaven Lolita, Stalking Anarchy, and Daffy Duck are fighting over the last piece of red velvet upside-down donut. Which fellow roommates Sonic the Hedgehog and Panty Anarchy watch and do nothing about it at all, but watch and laugh. The register operator is none other than Sonic's semi-stalker, Amy Rose. Go figure, right? Sonic and Panty are standing by the entrance, witnessing the roommates duke it out verbally. Luckily, there were no other people in the store, so things would escalate to dangerous proportions. As I said that previous sentence, it will be revealed later on that I have spoken too soon. Amy Rose is not focused on the two acting like losers, but rather on Sonic. The nymphomanic fallen angel immediately calls it out. "Oh, Sonic," Panty says in a rather sarcastic tone. 12 o'clock. Somebody wants your needle dick. Really, Panty? Yelled Sonic with an embarrassed look on his face. You do realize that's Amy, right?
What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, and she clearly wants your dick. I know a fuckface when I see one, furry. Not only are her eyes locked on you, but she's biting her lip in a hooker-like fashion, which means only one thing. She wants to super diddle you while wrapped around you like a coiled snake. I know she wants me, but not like that. Yes, like that, Sonic. Look at her. She looks like a horny white girl who's
She's
drunk on
in the
Starbucks.
room.
I was about to say, they're doing this right in front of me.
No, they're outside.
Oh, okay.
Their conversations being
I just
blocked
thought
out by Daffy and Stocking arguing.
Oh, I thought they were just holding up the line, fucking
No.
watching the people fight.
She looks like horny white girl who drunk on Starbucks. Hell, I'd fuck her if she wasn't a furry girl. Sonic is becoming very annoyed by Panty's smartass attitude. Panty is loving it, however, as she is enjoying Sonic's pissy state. Meanwhile, Daffy and Stocking are butting heads over the last red velvet upside-down donut. Things are heating up as they are about to engage Cold War.
That's not what the Cold War was. It was indirect, if anything.
They're about to cause another Cold War.
I'm like inner monologuing how I'm gonna do a Daffy impression.
Oh, that's a good...
That's despicable.
I called it first, putz! Daffy shouts in anger and hunger. Why do you always have to roll my... That's Chris Chan, I'm sorry. I'm gonna do that again.
Christian is Daffy.
You're right. Everybody do their best Daffy impression so I can get an idea of what he's like.
It's despicable.
I didn't come here to just do that a lot.
Bad man.
I'm just gonna keep my tongue on the roof of my mouth when I voice Daffy. I call it first, toots! Daffy shouts in anger and hunger. Why do you always have to ruin my moments? I was looking forward to trying this for months! You know this, Stocking! And, Stocking says with confidence, as she isn't having Daffy's crap, you were too slow in calling dibs on it, therefore you miss out on it. Tough titties, roomie. I only wanted to try it once. One time, that's all.
Okay.
Then you don't have to buy it then. But I want to buy it. You know I want to buy it. Daffy begins to shake in anger. Stocking smirks at how cute he looks and proceeds to tease him further. Listen, sweet cheeks, Stocking says slyly. No offense, but but don't do your sweet tooth justice by showing non-flexibility. I got first dibs, and therefore I get the last one, not you.
Daffy's gonna break every bone in his body in protest.
He's gonna shout and collapse.
That's why he's shaking. He's single-handedly focusing his bones.
No, I won't let you, Daffy retaliates in furious anger.
He's giving her the critic stare.
Steven, keep that bang in.
Oh my god, that's close.
He has had about enough of Stocking's remarks and is about to pop. I came too far to lose it all, Stocking says with a quick wit and a smirk. You're despicable, you know that? I have special needs, Stocking interrupts swiftly. I am a special needs child. Daffy brings out his Glock from the back of his tail. Hold on! His Glock?
Special needs child.
He screams and pulls out his Glock.
I need a tissue. Oh god.
Steven! Stop T-bowing.
There was some on my desk.
Oh my god. This adult fucking shaking. Convulsing them finally.
They're collapsing.
In this Dunkin' Donuts. I am a special needs child, but he takes out a firearm.
No! He said I am a special, and Stocking interrupted him with needs child.
Oh, I
So
saw
she called him a special needs child, and that caused him to blow his stack.
Oh my god, Daddy Doug. Just shouted that.
I also thought he stuttered and said that. He said, I am a special needs.
My stomach is so tight.
Anyway, if I can't have it, no one will. Daffy shoots at the cake right in front of the counter, destroying it altogether. Sonic and Panty are dumbfounded as the situation escalated very quickly. Well, crap, Sonic shouts in surprise. That escalated quickly. Fuck yeah, it did, Panty shouts in pure excitement as she cheers for Daffy. Let's go, Daffy Dick. Blow my sister's brains out. Me, please? I'll suck your corkscrew dick if you do. And I'll play some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for you while I go to town on it. I'll even dress up as a sexy shredder for you. You know want it, sweet cheeks. Steven, draw that later.
Okay.
Why would you think that?
Dude! Sonic says in utter shock and terror. He absolutely cannot believe that she said that out loud. Please! Please tell me you didn't mean any of it. Any of it! Well, of course not, Panty says. I just want to play with Daffy's delicate emotions. I don't really want to suck his dick in any way. Now pay attention, it's about to get good.
Sonic is well aware of his fandom, and yet that took him off guard.
Well, the Panty sucking Daffy's corkscrew dick while singing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, as a sexy shredder.
Sonic is silent and dumbfounded, but he turned back to Daffy and Stocking. Amy is still staring at Sonic, but Sonic is trying his best to ignore her. Daffy laughs maniacally as Stocking is fueled with sugar-craving anger. Daffy laughs in triumphant feeling. I win! God damn it, Stocking shouts. You retarded syphilitic runt! You always have to fuck up everything, do you?
Syphilis.
I could say the same thing to you, Tits McGee. At least my tits look fucking glamorous, you weak motherfucker. At least I'm not fat from eating sweets all the time, unlike you, Toots. Newsflash, furry. All the weight that I gained from eating sweets goes straight to my tits. No harm, no foul. Wrong! In any case, your boobs will become so big they'll snap your back, disabling you from the chest down. You'll be a cripple by winter. A cripple, I tell you! Cripple! Excuse me? Stocking says shockingly. I can hear the wedding sounds now, Daffy says, mind numbed with anger. Here comes the backrest on the girl with the enormous breasts. That's it, Stocking yells as she transforms one of her stockings into a katana. He has had enough of his remarks. I'll cut you till there's nothing left, starting with your corkscrew dick. I will... I will eat your dreams, Daffy! Daffy screams to the heavens. Eat your dreams! This is the best thing ever! It's the most threatening thing I've ever heard.
That coming out of this boomer duck yelling at this young woman. Eat your dreams!
An unknown presence appears in back of Daffy. It was a powerful entity indeed, used by the legendary vampire Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. His stand, called the World, was at the Amucked Duck for some reason. Right! Daffy yells in peak of blistering fury. Stocking has seen this from Daffy many times before and is pretty confident. That power isn't going to save you this time, Stocking howls as she charges at Daffy with her heavenly katana lunging towards him swiftly. You half-wit jabroni! Daffy repeats over and over again. They both collided with each other in full force as the shockwave blew up the roof of the Dunkin' Donuts, along with Amy, who was blasted off to the other side of Santa Monica. No. Sonic and Panty look at each other in utter surprise.
Oh my lord.
You want to watch the Giants game at home? Yelled Panty as the battle was becoming too loud to speak at a regular tone. Sure, Sonic says quickly. Let's run home quickly before Daffy unleashes... Daffy yells at the top of his lungs. Za-waddle! In an instant, the world has stopped time in its tracks.
Oh, no.
Sonic and Panty, along with Stocking, cannot move a muscle. And to make sure that I don't make this too long, I'm going to sum up what happens afterwards. 3 hours later, they all watch the Giants game at their Santa Monica home, with Daffy and Stocking tied up. Sonic and Panty clank Sprite bottles, and their thirst was quenched for the rest of the night. The end. The next chapter will be in Sonic's point of view.
Oh my god. What a fucking trip. Oh my god.
We're still under an hour, so I can do another chapter.
Please. Please.
I knew you'd say yes.
Between Daffy outing himself as fucking mentally handicapped and then proceeding to have a stand and threatening to eat someone's dreams. This is the best thing.
Out a Glock.
This has a lot of potential. Oh god. God, I need to remember shit like this for when I fucking write my next one. This is great.
It's so over the top.
I am special needs.
He didn't even need it. He has a stand.
He stole Dio's stand. Oh my god, my body hurts. I'm getting very sweaty.
My diaphragm fucking convulsed so hard. Oh.
Alright. Sonic's point of view. Setting, Santa Monica Pier, Santa Monica, California, 7:13 p.m. As always, I always have a good night's sleep in the shared summer home I stay at every weekend. During the weekdays in Buffalo, New York, I always wake up early to open my Foot Locker store near downtown Buffalo. How cliche, right? A blue hedgehog who can break the sound barrier in a short amount of time is running a store that sells footwear. It must be the greatest job in the world for me, right? Well, no.
Yeah, you keep telling yourself that.
You're mistaken, unfortunately. I'd rather take a job at Bed Bath & Beyond than work at a crummy athlete store.
Sonic, you have low aspirations in this story, I just want to say.
Jesus Christ.
In fact, it would be cool to have a government job like my good friend Joy. However, you can't have everything you want, and that sucks. You have a beach house.
You can afford to go states away every weekend.
I'm pretty sure you could get a better job. Anyways, I wake up and practically spin dash out of my bed. I just felt really alive today. I also felt hungry as heck. Come to think of it, I also felt pretty darn lazy. I felt so lazy that I just want to heat up a hot dog, some chili, cheese, and onions, and make a chili dog for breakfast. It was probably not good for me, but I didn't care. I just wanted food. I decided it was about time to go to the kitchen and make my breakfast before 7:30. Why? Because the latest episode of Big Bang Theory was recorded last night, and I looked forward to watching it. I would have watched it last night, but crap happened. So I make my way into the kitchen, right? I strut with not a care in the world, preparing to be lazy with my first meal of the day and eat a heated up chili dog while watching the latest episode of my favorite show. I had my morning all figured out. I didn't really see coming the fact that the very morning I wanted to go through would sooner be destroyed faster than the naked eye. I entered the kitchen, not expecting anyone to be there, right? Well, I didn't expect to see Panty up, making breakfast by herself. I say rather precautiously. Good morning? Panty immediately cocked her head toward my direction with a very joyous smile, cooking eggs and bacon on the stove. I'm going to say this right now. Panty never cooks in this house. I've never seen her cook once, mainly because she was too lazy too. Stocking knew how to cook, but all she would want to eat were sweets all day. Daffy is not too far off either. Now here's the shocker. Daffy is actually the most experienced cook out of all of us. I've tasted his cooking, and much to my surprise, it was out of this world. But for some reason, whenever he's here and he cooks something, he always puts powdered sugar on it. For Stocking, it was out of this world. Panty and I, however, digress. I didn't really know how to react to Panty waking up before 11. I was rather dumbfounded. Then she spoke up in a rather loud tone. It's about time you woke up, Panty said very excitedly. I was about to get bored cooking shit for you. Wait, why the heck are you cooking for me? I said, completely shocked. Is this a prank? I don't know. Is it, sweet cheeks? Panty says playfully and sarcastically. All I see is a blue furry who was clearly thinking about his longtime stalker. I keep hearing things and I keep thinking someone's knocking to deliver a noise complaint. It's not quiet time yet. Calm down. Her name is Amy, first of all. Well, no shit. You were moaning it so much overnight. I knew you wanted to fuck her. Quit it! I don't want to do that with her. What is wrong with you? That was not moaning any name. I lied. I was actually touching myself to her overnight. Yes, I admit it. I might as well admit it to you guys, because Panty saw right through my ruse. Knowing her, she's never gonna let that go. Ever. Don't fucking lie to me, Panty said in retort confidently. Just last night, you were diddling yourself to that pink skank like a self-deprived jockey. I gotta say, you have a crazier sex dreams than me sometimes, not to mention kinkier. Can you even comprehend the words, shut up? Don't feel like a mouse rat? Sorry, but I'm never letting this go, so you better get fucking used to it. By the way, I took a gander at you fucking yourself last night. It was pretty hot. I watched for about 30 seconds though, because the feeling went away afterwards. Mainly because I saw your rat dick. It looked like the Shawshank Redemption fucked Usain Bolt and Money Penny in a 45 way. Not into your whole people's penis type shit, you know? Yours was different though, because it vibrated like the Energizer Bunny, then it stopped. Like the shitty battery that it is, just to say. I was simply shocked at what she said to me.
He
You know,
just wanted breakfast.
he wanted to make us chili dog and watch Big Bang.
Got assaulted.
He commandeered the kitchen and then roasted him at 7:30 in the morning.
I was simply shocked at what she said to me, and a bit angry. More so at the fact that she watched me pound myself last night. Even if it was for 30 seconds, it was still pretty shocking and awkward. Not to mention, uncomfortable. I wasn't having any of what Panty was saying, but I felt that if she tried to say anything, she would turn it against me. On a side note, she was too busy ranting about me to notice that she was burning the very breakfast that she was making for me. I would have pointed that out, but didn't want to.
She was, quotes, making for me.
Could be worse, though, said the morbidly cocky Panty. You could have done that in Stocking's room without her permission. Ha! Imagine if she were to catch you doing that in her room. I would fucking cry. I didn't want to imagine any of that. I'm not crazy. Believe me, I'm not. Panty then started to imitate her sister on what would happen if I jerked off in her room. What the shit? Panty imitates Stocking in a high-pitched tone. God damn it, stop diddling yourself in my fucking room. Now get this. As soon as Panty finished her sentence, we both heard a loud howl coming from Stocking's room to the left of the kitchen. That yell was from Stocking. What did she yell? Well, God damn it, stop diddling yourself in my fucking room!
Taffy!
Oh no!
He's breaking every bone in his body.
He's special needs.
He especially needs to do it in her room.
They just got in a fight yesterday.
Good lord.
Stocking yells as powerful as a gust of 1,000 winds. In all honesty, for some reason I had a feeling that something like this would happen. Why? I'll tell you why. I noticed to the right of the kitchen that Daffy's door to his room was open. He was not in his room when I checked in. Also, Daffy and Stocking do not have the tendency to get along often, and their encounters usually mean one thing: hell on earth. So, either someone broke into our house to masturbate in Stocking's room, or Daffy snuck into Stocking's room to masturbate, getting caught in the process. Panty and I exchanged glances, sharing that we both hesitated to go into the room. Okay, I don't know what the fuck is happening, but let's just go and get this over with before the house burns down, Panty said in a very blunt fashion. And I couldn't have agreed more. To be continued in part 2.
Well, I guess continue. I do want to see what happens when they get caught.
Oh my god, this is great.
Okay, but this says part 2 of 2, so this will be the last chapter for now.
I'm mad that I'm enjoying the fucking concept of Panty and Stocking and Sonic just being roommates.
It's so funny. It's written so well.
It is. This is something I would have written as a kid.
As a kid?
Yeah, this is definitely something I would have written like around the age you write fan fictions.
That's fair. You mean now?
Yeah.
I've written more fan fiction or anything fan related in my life ever since we started this podcast.
I guess me too. Well, we did read a lot of Ernest Chan.
True. Well, I don't count that. That's just life. That's just life experiences.
Yes, that thing that's... I'm going to have to link into the chat and into the description, and then nobody's going to get it.
You can link to the Facebook page, The 1/4 of Jews Lie.
Okay. Sonic's point of view. Setting, Santa Monica Pier, Santa Monica, California, 7:20 p.m. Shouldn't it be a.m.?
Yes.
Okay. Panty and I rushed into Stocking's room, bracing ourselves for what we were about to get ourselves into. I, for one, was pretty terrified. Knowing Stocking and Daffy's harsh relationship, they were probably at the verge of killing each other dead. Although, by the sound of Stocking's yell earlier... Flashback. God damn it, stop diddling yourself in my fucking room! Stocking yelled frivolously. End flashback. It sounds like it's going to be a lot worse than that. When we got to Stocking's door, all of what Panty and I heard was screaming, the blood-curdling kind. We heard 2 different blood-curdling screams. One was Stocking, and one was from, you guessed it, Daffy freaking Duck. I like that Sonic doesn't swear. It's a really nice touch of character. We both immediately barged in the room to find a very awkward picture. Basically, Daffy was shaking in terror with his body covering Stocking's TV as if he was hiding something from her. As Daffy was yelling from the top of his lungs, so was Stocking as she had her heavenly katana dangerously close to Daffy's head. I'm gonna fucking kill you! Stocking howls in a pit of rage as she is ready to slit Daffy's throat. I didn't do it! I'm not a crook! I'm not a crook! Daffy retorts in his own stupid way, imitating Richard Nixon. Panty then decided to say something before Stocking killed him. Hey, hookers! Panty yells so that they both get her attention. Daffy and Stocking both turn to see Panty and I in a very concerned manner. What the fuck you guys doing to each other? You guys kink fucking or something? No! Yelled both Stocking and Daffy.
I am
very
not a crook.
Angry. I am not a crook. Then what is it? I said. We just heard you 2 yelling from the damn kitchen. Darn it, Sonic, he swore. It has to be something, guys. Seriously. Oh, I'll explain what happened, Stocking says firmly and confidently. I'll explain it real fucking good. Daffy snuck into my fucking room, diddling himself to something he was watching on my fucking television while I was fucking sleeping. And when I finally woke up, what do I find? Daffy fucking his corkscrew dick about to fucking come on my fucking television. And I'm about to find out what the hell he was jacking off to.
Oh no!
Panty laughs out of nowhere, at least in my eyes. That's hilarious. Just last night I caught Sonic here diddling himself as well. To get this, the fucking pink hedgehog that we saw yesterday. He was like, "Oh, Amy, pound my Sonic dick with your pico hammer. Oh, hammer it until you get enough rings for me to twist it like a witch doctor. Then suck it so hard like it's a bop it toy." Panties! I yelled in extreme shock. What the actual brick? You bricked yourself, alright, Panty says as she playfully winks at me. I felt very uncomfortable. I know Panty was just toying with me, but it was still annoyingly uncomfortable. No, I didn't do it! Daffy screamed at the top of his lungs
I
in
want to
anguish.
know what Daffy was masturbating to.
He's not a crook.
Stocking kicked Daffy in the side gut with all of her might, launching him to the left of the room and slamming into the wall. Stocking then gave a rather concerning devilish grin. Now, let's see what kind of shit you were rubbing your duck dick to, shall we?
It's 7 in the
Stocking
morning.
howled. What?
It's so early, I wonder what could be on TV.
Stocking just punted this fucking duck across the room.
Stocking howled as she rushed to her TV. Panty couldn't stop giggling, and I couldn't get the smug look out of my face. And what we saw next was absolutely horrifying. To Panty, it was comedy gold. Stocking immediately turned on the TV, and the thing, or rather the TV show that was touching himself to, was revealed. Oh, sweet lord. Daffy was going to hell for what he was wanking to. What he was wanking to was this. A certain pair of 4 anthropomorphic reptilian brothers who fight crime at night and also thwart the plans of an ancient Japanese clan, all while
Right.
being trained by their anthropomorphic rat that knows martial arts in the way of the ninja. This show was unfortunately Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Show, Turtle Power.
This was alluded to earlier.
It's true. That's right. Daffy Duck himself was giving himself a good old rub to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Unbelievable. He gets off the human-like turtles with bulging muscles who fight crime at night. When I saw that, my face was completely blank. Stocking's face was even blanker than mine's were. To say the least, we were completely speechless. Panty, however, completely lost it. My phone's at like 2%. Charger. To me.
I don't believe it. This is fake news. Daffy's not a crook.
Not gonna work, is it?
Like I'm plugged in, but that's as far as I can go.
Oh, it's your laptop.
Wow. That's right, you can do that. That's right. Yay. We're back in the Mega Mix.
Daffy is not a crook. He is not jacking into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
The rumors are not true. I have not been jacking into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Panty laughs obnoxiously, falling to the floor and continuing to laugh uncontrollably. Daffy likes reptile dick. Panty couldn't control herself as she was rolling on the floor non-stop. Stocking and I slowly cocked our heads toward Daffy's direction. Daffy was dumbfounded, knowing that he was caught red-handed. He decided that it was time to bite the bullet and confess his sins. Daffy stalls in fear. Then he confesses. They were hot? I then question myself. What is life? Is this real life? Am I dead? Am I in hell? Am I in what Panty and Stocking call heaven? I was in a very vulnerable place. A very empty, vulnerable place.
Is this Sonic or Daffy?
This is Sonic.
Oh.
This chapter's from Sonic's POV.
Right.
I completely forgot that I wanted to watch The Big Bang Theory. I also completely forgot that the kitchen was on fire because Panty left the stove on, burning the eggs so much that the bottom of the pan and the eggs that we're cooking on burst into flames, if that makes any sense. Unfortunately, we had to call in the Santa Monica Fire Department to take care of this. We couldn't make anything homemade for the next week until the carpenter that we called in, after the firefighters were gone, comes over. However, we wanted it done now. Panty did some snooping around on Facebook and found out that our carpenter by the name of, and I'm not joking when I say this, Witch Bandera-sama. Her American name is Rita Repulsa, you know, from the original Power Rangers. And you'll never guess where she also works. She works part-time
Better not say Foot Locker.
I swear to God.
I'm grinning at Steven. She works part-time in a White Castle near the edge of Santa Monica.
A White Castle? She wears all black.
Ah, yes, the White Castle. Delicious. I love eating those little burgers.
Make my burgers grow.
Victor, I want another sack.
God, I can't believe it's a fucking Super Sentai reference in this sitcom.
Of all things.
This is gold. This is my favorite I've ever read.
This is great. I agree.
Okay. We went there next, to not only give her a piece of our minds, but to get some White Castle for breakfast, since we all worked up an appetite discovering Daffy's fetish. I would say that, hopefully, things would get better fast, but probably already tempted Lady Karma, so we'll just see what happens next. And that's the end of that chapter.
Hooray.
Great. Oh my God.
Wow.
Jesus Christ, I don't even know how to rate this. There's so much.
Give it a shot.
I'm trying. I give this two rounds out of a special needs ducks gone in public.
I give it 9 out of 10. Auras.
I rate,
Auras with a lisp.
I rate the story
Oh.
I rate the story a sack of 12 White Castle burgers out of 10.
Out of Rita Repulsa's hat. It's filled with hot oil.
I like that it's specifically Bandora, which he describes as Rita, and not just the Rita who's already the meme. Oh my god.
Well, that was wild.
That was awesome.
I'm gonna like actually follow this guy in, which I've never done before, because I want to see what else he had.
True.
Or she, don't want to be sexist.
Oh, yeah.
But that is gold.
That was.
And, I suppose that's it for this evening, gentlemen.
Oh, that's it.
I know how much you love anime. Elias, I promised you this, so I'm putting you on the spot. What's next episode's topic gonna be?
Can we do, well, it's not a particularly special occasion, but I would like to do a return to the episodes that we started at some point, but not this time. It's not the right time.
Yeah. I definitely think that would be a good idea to do at some point, but...
Look at my wall of culture. Wait, Death Note.
Death Note?
Yes, there's got to be so much good Death Note content.
That's probably true. I'm gonna have to educate myself on Death Note.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
I'm gonna watch the Netflix movie and that's it.
Yeah, just ignore my box set right there. You could take.
You heard it here first, folks. 2 weeks from now, Death Note coming in hot. Get your votes in now.
I hope there's a lot of funny Light Yagame jokes.
Play us out, keyboard Steven. Louder. That was so cool.
Clap, 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 clap your hands.